Let me tell you a story, and I want you to feel every word of it. There was a young woman named Maria. She grew up in a small town where dreams were limited to what society dictated for girls like her. Be obedient, stay in your lane, maybe get an education, but not too much because that might intimidate a man. Maria was a dreamer though. She wanted to travel the world, write books and be a leader. But at every turn people told her no. They told her she was dreaming too big. They told her a woman's place was in the shadow, supporting others but never shining on her own. She heard it from teachers, relatives, friends, even from people who claimed to love her. But Maria had a fire inside her, a fire that wouldn't die. And when life knocked her down, she didn't just get back up. She got up stronger, faster, more determined. Maria ended up becoming a world-renowned author and an advocate for women's rights. She travelled to over 50 countries, inspiring millions of women to break free from the shackles society tried to place on them. And do you know what she said was the turning point? It wasn't a big break or a moment of luck. It was the day she decided to stop living for other people's expectations and start living for herself. Today, I'm here to talk about that moment, the moment when you decide enough is enough. The moment when you break free from society's expectations and start living your own life on your own terms. And let me tell you, it's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. We're all born into a world that has rules for us before we even take our first breath. Society says girls should be quiet, polite, and pretty. It says women should prioritize family over career, put others' needs before their own, and never, ever be too ambitious. And if you dare to break these rules, get ready for the criticism, the judgment, and the whispers behind your back. But here's the truth. Every single woman who has ever made history had to break those rules. Rosa Parks didn't stay in her seat because society told her to. Malala Yousafzai didn't stop advocating for girls' education because extremists told her to be silent. Serena Williams didn't become the greatest athlete of all time by listening to people who said, women's sports don't matter. They all had one thing in common. They knew that society's expectations were a cage, and they were not going to live their lives trapped. I get it. Breaking free is terrifying. It's uncomfortable. It means stepping into the unknown, facing rejection, and sometimes standing alone. But I need you to understand something. The people who tell you to stay in your place are not living your life. They don't know the dreams that keep you up at night. They don't feel the passion that burns inside you. Only you do. And here's the secret. Society doesn't get to decide your destiny. You do. Let me share another story. There was a woman named Sarah who worked in a corporate office. She was smart, talented, and hardworking. But every time she spoke up in meetings, she was interrupted or dismissed. Her ideas were stolen and her contributions were overlooked. She started to doubt herself. Maybe she wasn't good enough. Maybe she should just stay quiet and do her job. But then something changed. Sarah realized that the problem wasn't her, it was the system, so she made a decision. She started her own company, built it from the ground up, and created a culture where women's voices were valued and respected. Today, that company is one of the most successful in its industry, and Sarah is a trailblazer who is changing the game for women in business. Sarah didn't wait for permission. She didn't wait for society to catch up. She took control of her narrative, and that's what I need you to do. Now let's talk about the psychology of persistence, because this journey is going to test you. When you decide to break free from society's expectations, you will face resistance. People will doubt you. You will face setbacks. But here's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Resilience. Resilience is the ability to get back up every time you get knocked down. It's the strength to keep going when everything inside you is screaming to quit. And let me tell you, resilience is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She was fired from her first television job and told she was unfit for TV. But did she let that stop her? No. She built an empire and became one of the most influential women in the world. What about J.K. Rowling? She was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Do you think she gave up after the first rejection? Absolutely not. These women succeeded because they were persistent. They didn't quit when things got hard. They kept pushing, kept fighting, and kept believing in themselves. And you can do the same. But here's the thing. You can't do it alone. You need a tribe. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who lift you up, and who challenge you to be your best. Cut out the negativity. Distance yourself from those who doubt you or try to hold you back. And if you don't have that tribe yet, build it. Seek out mentors, join communities, and connect with people who share your vision. Because when women come together, We are unstoppable. I want you to visualize your life right now. Think about all the ways society has tried to box you in. Maybe it's a career path you didn't choose for yourself. Maybe it's a relationship that stifles your growth. Maybe it's the fear of judgment that keeps you from speaking your truth. Now, imagine breaking free from all of that. Imagine living a life where you are unapologetically yourself, where you pursue your dreams without hesitation, where you stand tall and own your power. Imagine the impact you can have, not just on your own life, but on the lives of other women who see you as a beacon of hope. That life is possible, but you have to choose it. You have to fight for it, and you have to believe that you are worthy of it. So today I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you to break free from society's expectations. I'm challenging you to be bold, be brave, and be relentless. I'm challenging you to write your own story and to inspire others to do the same. And when you feel doubt creeping in, when you hear the voices telling you that you can't, remember Maria, remember Sarah, remember Oprah, J.K. Rowling, and every other woman who dared to defy the odds. And most importantly, remember this: you are powerful beyond measure. You are capable of greatness, and the world needs your voice, your strength, and your courage. So go out there and break free. Live your truth and show the world what happens when a woman decides to rise.